more water, more electricity, more roads. The railways, they're now doing the railway line 2B and 2C. One line will come through Eldoret, Malaba. The other one will go through Bomet into Kisumu all the way to Malaba. And because we have oil in Turkana, we need also to extend into Lokichar to be able to transport the oil. We are building a new airport at Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. The one we have is old. We want to move the number of people coming through Jomo Kenyatta International Airport from 8 million currently to 100 million so that we can match airports like the Dubai International Airport. Where do we get money from? We are looking at public-private partnerships. We are also looking at privatization, where we reduce the stake that government has in some of the strategic assets, but use that money not to pay salaries, not to pay recurrent expenditure, but put that money to build dams and roads and modernize our country in the shortest time possible. So that project of building the hardware of our country is on course. But there is a second pillar of our transformation, and that is the software of Kenya. Because as much as we want to build a modern Kenya with modern infrastructure, as much as we want to have human capital, great engineers and researchers and professors who will give us good research outputs to transform our country into the first world, those engineers, those doctors, and all those experts and researchers must be ethical people with some form of humanity. And that's why we need to promote the software of Kenya. Our ethics, our values is as important as the roads, the water, and the electricity. Taka niseme ya kwamba ili nchi yetu iendelee, tunaendelea kujenga barabara, mabawa ya maji, kuweka stima na mambo ya kisasa ikiwemo maneno ya internet. Lakini lazima vile vile tujenge taifa letu kwa mambo ya kifamilia, mambo ya kiutu, tuwe na watu wazalendo. Those values in Article 10 of our Constitution, patriotism. You can love your country, even if you don't like particular people. Those two things are not connected. You may not like me as a person, but the love for the country should be able to persuade you not to do some things for the sake of our motherland. Those national values like patriotism, human dignity, respect for others, human rights, we need to teach our children so that you don't have engineers who are committing suicide because of stress. You want an engineer who is at peace with himself, with the family, and with the community they live in. And therefore, this is the commitment of the government of Kenya, that as much as we build the hardware of our country going forward, we want to invest more resources now in building the software of our country, promote good morals, because children who are intellectually gifted but they have poor morals are headed nowhere. They end up being useless people, struggling with suicide thoughts, struggling with their own personal identity issues. So we need to invest more resources in nurturing patriotic, culturally sensitive, upright children who can take over the development of our country when we phase out with the adults. And therefore, now that by the grace of God, under the leadership of President William Ruto, we have found innovative ways of easing pressure on our budget so that as we build more roads and provide water and electricity, we don't have to rely all the time on the budgets and the taxes of the people of Kenya. We can use PPP. We can use privatization. As we ease pressure on our budget, we are going to increase the allocation to the ministries and the state departments that help us build the software of our nation, because the software is as important as the hardware. Because if you have upright children, patriotic children, well-educated, and then you have good infrastructure, you have a successful country. Look at all the successful countries of the world. The economic superpowers of the world. They not only have modern infrastructure, they also have a very strong love for their countries. They are very patriotic, very protective of their nation and the values for which their nations are established. They could have differences. Maybe some of them do not vote for a particular government, which is okay, in their right, but there are things they will never do. They will never destroy the country. They will never destroy the infrastructure of the country. They will never endanger the security of the country, because the country is superior to all of us. So going forward, good people, we are going now to use the national budget a little more, in a more flexible manner, because we have found ways of easing pressure by finding alternative, innovative funding models for our infrastructure, so that we invest now in the software of the nation, national values, human dignity, family values, protecting our children from negative cultural practices, protecting families, fighting gender-based violence, establishing a culture of respect for one another, men and women, children, and promoting coexistence among communities, because nobody made an application to speak the language they speak. That was given by God. Nobody made an application to be born where they were born. We all found ourselves in this country speaking different languages and having different cultures. The Constitution demands all of us be protected in our diversity, in our different languages, and in our different cultures.